sap is running at this sugar bush in Lebanon, marking another season for creating award-winning syrup.
All right, we're getting things started.
Black dog bees and maple trees is boiling most every day, reducing it down to a sweet syrup that won the Carlisle Award for the state's best maple syrup last year, followed by a second-place finish in 2026.
To kind of be at the top of the maple game in New Hampshire, like, what does that mean?
It's kind of unreal.
Jennifer Mercer walks down to the end of the driveway to place a half-gallon for a customer to pick up.
It's locally grown, locally made. That's important. Even better, it's made by good friends. I particularly enjoy it on vanilla ice cream with maybe some nuts crushed. It's great on waffles and pancakes, of course, more traditional, but it's just very good.
Mercer and her husband, Jason Wheel, refer to their wooded farm as the 30-acre woods.
Good dog.
They have a pair of big guardian livestock dogs, but the name Black Dog comes from their original farm dog, Mason.
My niece, when she was little, my mom was showing her pictures of everybody and said, who's this, who's that? And showed her a picture of Mason the dog, and she said, oh, that's that black dog that comes to Thanksgiving. So we were like, well, let's just go with black dog, bees, and maple trees. And
maple and honey are their staples, but they also grow mushrooms in the warmer times and have Icelandic chickens. They'll sell their eggs at farmers markets in Lebanon, New Hampshire, and Norwich, Vermont.
it was a dream that I never thought I would ever realize. Like, as a kid, I wanted to have a place to be in the woods and stuff. My day job is as a scientist, and Jason is an engineer by training. So it also takes our sort of skills, those skills, and we can apply them to making things work here too.
My goodness! We first featured black dog bees and maple trees a few months back for a story about Japanese tiny trucks. Theirs has an ice cream machine in the back, very popular at markets. Jen taught me how to drive it, my first time behind the wheel of a manual.
This is so cool.
I don't know, Tom. I don't know what else we can do after this because I taught you how to drive a stick. Now I'm going to teach you beekeeping.
Now suiting me up to go check on the bees in their hives after a cold winter.
So that's like a food substitute. So if they make it to the top and they can't move around easily to get back to wherever their honey stores are, they can feed on it.
Mercer says this group looks healthy and they still have plenty of honey. The bees will start to forage on the first blossoms of maple trees soon. The farm is committed to sustainable practices, never using synthetic chemicals.
My grandpa kept bees and my parents kept bees when I was a kid, so I'm a third-generation beekeeper, and I'm also a Cornell certified master beekeeper, and so it's just this great thing to be their steward and caretaker. And so I think that for people to know that their food is really clean and healthy, then they understand and they're willing to pay a farmer, a food producer, a fair price too.
At the back of the sugar house, Jason gets his forge heated up and shows us the process of making his handcrafted culinary blades.
I cut a chunk off about 6 inches or so. So steel's a 1/4 inch thick and 1.5 inches wide. And then as I move through the process, this is called a storyboard. Blacksmithing, this is very traditional.
He works his way down, hiding the tang of the knife, drawing the steel out, mashing down the end to make the tip. And there's science that goes into this craft that he's mastered both from 25 years as an engineer focused on materials science and later studying traditional metalwork techniques.
I forged my first knife with my uncle when I was maybe 12 years old or so. I really wanted to be a blacksmith, and to some degree I am. I could not make a knife. That was my challenge. I would sit down and make things, and then I would end up making knives.
It kind of all came back to that for you.
Yeah, it just came for whatever reason. Maybe I knew back then what I wanted to do in the end, and it just took a while to get there. This is kind of the typical setup for an art show or a League of New Hampshire Craftsman show.
With his business called Viking Made Forge, he works with different kinds of metals and processes. Kumai has 5 layers, including copper.
These are a little thicker than a chef's knife. These are heavier duty, so these are good for chicken and fish and vegetables.
The handles often include materials like moose antler, buffalo horn, sourcing wood like maple from their farm, and other places like 2,000-plus-year-old Ukrainian bog oak. Functional works of art that can be passed down as family heirlooms.
Absolutely. And I've received emails from people saying they're not sure which child they want to weld their knife to. I mean, I'm not kidding. So, you know, it's that's a great feeling. And I think it's a testament to people still valuing, even in this day and age, something that you don't buy and throw away. And I think that's important.
It feels really good to be connected to the land in the way that we are, and then also to the community. Like, that's something that we, you know, I think I knew it was out there, but it's just something I really value, that we've become part of the local, like, farming and market community, and then with our customers too, and connecting with our customers.